Mark Wall, you've been listening to what Lindsay has had to say. Not sure if you caught what Wendy had to say as well in Newbridge, which is just beggars belief. I nearly fell off the chair here when she says that she has a ticket, but she might as well not have a ticket because the code is wrong. What's going on, Mark? This is a mess.
It's chaos, and there's no other way of saying it, Owen, and it's chaos for so many families that are directly affected. I listened to Wendy, I listened to Lindsay, and they're replicating what I'm hearing for the last number of weeks in Kildare South. This is absolutely chaos. There's a number of bus routes which actually aren't running at the moment, that the parents have actually got tickets. Some of them have tickets since last May. So it beggars belief as to why Bus Éireann are now telling parents this week, or at the start of this week, that their children won't have a bus. I believe that they're coming back to them today. And one of the biggest issues, and that's why I wrote into you yesterday, is that in some cases the driver has turned 70. This driver is very experienced, very reliable, known to the families, but because he's turned 70, Bus Éireann rules say that he cannot drive a bus. That same driver could drive a private bus anywhere in Ireland or the UK as long as they hold medical certification. It's joined up thinking on. I've been at this for the last number of years, and it simply doesn't exist in the Department of Education and the Bus Éireann. This is an annual problem, but it's been replicated. And the problem in Ballytor at the moment is that we've built houses in Ballytor and allowed houses to be built in Ballytor, but we don't have the infrastructure. The school in Crookstown, as Lindsay has said, is 3 or 4 kilometres away, so people have to get there. They live in Ballytor, yet the infrastructure is not there to bring them, and this is why we need joined up thinking. Like the local link, I've called for them to be involved in this because this is an emergency, and this is what needs to happen. We need joined up thinking from the department. We're told that this famous report is on the way, but this report is overdue now at this stage. And when I ask about the over 70s issue, I'm told that they're also considering that. But when you look and Google that, if anyone wants to Google it, this has been discussed for the last number of years as well. So they've known about these problems, they've known about the explosion in population, and yet we have Lindsay and Wendy coming on the radio this morning. It's just not good enough.
But the other problem is, Mark, that the schools are already back. And I made this point when I had James Lawless on the show last week. This isn't a case of trying to sort it out before the schools go back. They are back. So parents are taking it day by day and trying to sort this out while the children are in school.
Some parents, Owen, haven't actually returned to work yet. I'm aware of parents in South Kildare who cannot go back to work. You described some parents this morning that are texting you in that they're taking hours and hours to get their children to school and that their jobs are on jeopardy. This is what's happening, and this is what the government need to realise here. Because we have a crisis, I would call it, in school transport, and it's created by the lack of joined up thinking. This happens every year, and I'm saying again that some of these parents are in possession of tickets since last May, and we're only told last week, just about the day before their child, or a couple of days before their children were going back to school, that there's no bus available. So what happened between May and the end of July into August? What were Bus Éireann doing? You know, like, this is the issue. And again, I stress, in some of these cases, a perfectly reliable, healthy driver has been let go because the person has turned 70. It is total, it's not on. It's causing untold problems for families in South Kildare. And something, it's not just South Kildare, by the way. This is happening throughout the state at the moment. And somebody needs to grasp it. Somebody needs to take this over and solve it once and for all. This famous report needs to be published so parents can have certainty, and that's what they're looking for their children. And again, Lindsay is right. Some of the buses are actually going empty, that there's a number of empty seats on it. And I get this every year, passing the door by when parents are told that there's no room on the bus, yet they see when the bus goes past their door that there are seats on it. So I've called the Minister, and in conversations with her, I've asked her to ring the bus companies and check how many children are actually using the bus each day. And this is the joined up thinking that we need, Owen, at this stage for the parents.
At this rate, you're going to be driving a bus to schools yourself, Mark?
Well, look, what's happening here is that we have, as I said, and I'm repeating myself again, we have people who want to drive buses, who've done it for years, who know the routes, who know the families, who know the pickup spots, and they're sitting at home just because they're 70. Like, it's just, this is an emergency, and these people can go back to driving buses tomorrow and in time for Monday to allow the buses to be put on. And I've spoken to the bus operators, and they're telling me that this would make a difference for them. It would also obviously make a difference for the parents, and most importantly for the children who can get to school. And if we continue to develop our villages without the infrastructure, then this is going to continue and continue until somebody says stop, and we get some giant uptick, and we allow those over 70s, and we also involve Local Link and change the times around in some of the buses so we can use Local Link as well to service the schools. And that's what needs